From the PSIA-AASI satellite studios in Hood River, Oregon, I'm George Thomas. You're listening to First Chair, part 2 of 5 elements of inspirational instruction with Josh Pighetti. Josh, I just love that title. I mean, that's your dissertation, isn't it?
It is more or less the dissertation, and more importantly, it's the way that I am starting to treat my lessons. So it's been really fun taking these 5 elements and bringing them into my own practice, which is a big reason why, the main reason actually, why I've done this research is to benefit all other instructors at PSIA-AASI.
So you're working at Mammoth, correct?
That is correct, yes.
And what was that like for you to actually get your PhD and then go out on the snow and be able to take what you had worked on so long and bring it to your lessons?
It's actually been, as I worked on the dissertation for the last 2 seasons, it's been a growing opportunity for me. And as I started to think about the skills, the strategies, the behaviors that we got to learn and observe with the national team members, I got to try them out myself and see what worked for me, see what didn't work for me, see if I was doing it correctly or if I was going amiss. And especially towards the end of this season, I started to feel more comfortable with the choices that I was making and being able to relate it to this framework of inspirational instruction.
So in part 1 of the podcast, we talked about technical expertise and instructional communications. What are the 3 we're going to be discussing today?
Yeah, today we get to discuss masterful teaching, personal and professional character, and the student-centered approach.
Well, let's start. Again, you said last time these are not in hierarchical order, but masterful teaching, what is that?
Perfect. Hey, masterful teaching is the way that we approach, create, and facilitate the student's experience. And the main ways that inspirational instructors do so is through creativity. They use exploration, experimentation, and play, just as we have in our learning connection model. And then there is constant student collaboration in masterful teaching.
What are some ways we can enhance our teaching from grasshopper level to master?
Oh man, there are a number of ways to go. And one that I'm really enjoying as I play with my own instruction is trying to figure out when I experiment, when I explore, and when I play with my students on the snow, and trying to think about what that actually means. So when it comes to experimentation, it is thinking about problem solving. We can control certain variables on the snow, but then we're asking our students to make certain adjustments with a focused body position, movement, or performance, and trying to find that positive results. So treating it truly like an experiment. But then as we think about exploration, it is playing with a full range. Let's take one of the 5 Alpine fundamentals or any of them, and playing with the full range in any one of those in different types of terrain, and then allowing for the student to explore when it is effective, when it is ineffective, and then letting them choose if and when they want to do it. And play is the best part of a lesson. It is the opportunity to let our students apply their movements freely, independently, and gain that sense of competence and gain the sense of autonomy so that they know that they can finish their lesson and continue to ski or ride on their own.
I love this next one, character, and you have personal and professional character.
Certainly. So as we think about our character as professional sports instructors, we are authentic humans. That's a great way to make a genuine connection with our students. And at the same time, we're dedicated professionals to the industry. So when we think about being personable, authentic, sometimes humble, and vulnerable, what that allows us to do is actually break down these barriers between us as an instructor and our students, and kind of remove that traditional sense of hierarchy, that we can start to have a conversation that is more personal, there's empathy, there's positive emotion, and we can allow for our disposition to positively influence our students' disposition.
So can you make the distinction between professional and personal?
In a way, I think the best blend it. But as we talk about it right now, with personal character, it is how we carry ourselves in uniform and out of uniform. That professional character is our continued dedication and commitment to our job, our community, and really with that, it's continuing to further develop our skills, our knowledge, and our ability to teach so that our students, when they come back to ski with us or ride with us, they also have a better instructor, even though we're the same individual.
And student-centered approach, last but certainly not least.
And the student-centered approach, I feel like we could spend quite some time on. As we talk about, these elements are not hierarchical. The student-centered approach provides us as instructors with the information that helps us make decisions with how we compose ourselves in terms of our personal and professional character. What do we display? Same with our technical expertise, instructional communications, and masterful teaching. The decisions we make are based on all the information we gather when we take a student-centered approach. So with that student-centered approach, we get to meet the students where they are. And that's a phrase that I hear very often on snow, in clinics, in plenty of articles and 32 degrees, some of these podcasts. So trying to figure out what does meeting students where they are actually means, that was a big part of this research. And it is treating our students as people before students. And then trying to figure out how these individuals want to learn. Are they ready to engage? And are they ready to learn? And then from there, we get to support our students' potential. And that's a really fun one in that we as instructors, we can see the potential of our students. And the inspirational instructors, they tend to see beyond what the student believes that they can ever do.
Are there any key points to meeting the student where they are? How do we find that information out?
Using careful question asking and being ready to listen. So when it comes to listening, it's active listening with the intent of capturing the information, asking more questions to help interpret the information accurately. And then as we go from there, it's about a bit of that emotional connection so that our students feel that they are seen, that they're heard, and most importantly, that what they are saying is being valued.
And I think we have that person in our class often where they say the right things or they'll say the things that they think we want to hear. How can we get past that where, you don't need to be at this level? Let's be honest.
Yeah, certainly. When it comes to asking our students questions, it is also given time for them to process. There can be the rapid fire. How are you feeling? What is this like? Are you hungry? Are you tired? Anything that may just be simple and it might get to the surface of what they're feeling like and who they are. But just having a conversation and asking maybe what they do off the snow. What are they confident in doing and why are they confident in doing that when they're off the snow? That can tell us a little bit about themselves, about how they learn, about what they're confident in doing and how they do it. And then as a learner, how do they process information? How do they gain information? And that can help inform the way we teach.
Well, please share the 5 elements of inspirational instruction with us one last time before we do another one of these.
Yeah, of course. So starting with the 2 elements that are in part 1 of this podcast, that is technical expertise and instructional communication. And today we went over masterful teaching, personal and professional character, and the student-centered approach.
Will your dissertation ever be available for membership to see?
Yes, certainly. The dissertation is available come mid-May when I officially graduate. It'll be available through Penn State's thesis and dissertation online database. With that, there will also be articles available through the future, both online at thesnowpros.org and ideally in future 32 Degrees magazine.
And Penn State was instrumental in this whole process, were they not?
Certainly, certainly. The partnership between PSIA-AASI and Penn State is the very reason that I now hold this degree, the reason that I've done this research, and the partnership that continues is really exciting as we start to think about the certificates for level 1, level 2, level 3 PSIA-AASI instructors, and the opportunity that does come with being a snow sports instructor and having the choice of getting a degree at Penn State.
What's your next step as we near the end of this season?
Oh, that's a big question. As we get to the end of this season, my family and I were expecting our second daughter. So first and foremost, we are looking forward to having some quality family time, kind of calming down, enjoying a summer without a dissertation to work on. And then quite frankly, continue to develop my skills so that I can be inspirational, thinking about these 5 elements, thinking about what I can do in the off season so that when I do get back on the snow in November, I'm ready to go.
Josh Pighetti, PhD, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us. I look forward to many more of these with you.
Thanks, George.
From the PSIA-AASI Satellite Studios in Hood River, Oregon, I'm George Thomas.